everyone, and welcome back to Yoga for Writers. If you're watching this in real time, then happy Christmas Eve. It's Christmas tomorrow, really exciting, really nice. But obviously not everybody celebrates Christmas, and so I wanted to be respectful of that. And of course, yoga is a tradition, a philosophy, a religion, a spiritual path that derives from countries where they don't celebrate Christmas the way we do in the West, and so it's very important for us to honour and respect that. And so yeah, I thought I would just share a practice with you that was a bit fun and support you on this period of time where we're potentially overeating, or we have a lot of people around us, maybe we're facing temptations or anxieties and different things that might make us feel a bit icky and not quite joyful this season. So if that is you and if that resonates with you, then welcome, let's join on the mat. Firstly, let's ground down and situate ourselves in this present moment, remembering that even in situations of anxiety or things outside of our control, we can still find power within ourselves. We can pause, we can breathe, maybe we have time to flow, and it helps remind us that we are safe. So take a few moments to intentionally breathe, feeling how the stomach and the abdomen expands with every inhale and how it contracts with every exhale. Maybe the same happens for the chest, maybe even with the collarbone, for a full yogic breath. We can begin by rolling the head a little from side to side, gently, one way and then the other, just releasing any residual tension that may have built up from worrying about presents or worrying about what you're going to say to that aunt or uncle that you haven't seen for a few years. Maybe you're somebody who just doesn't thrive in social situations, and so having to see a lot of people around the holidays just feels scary for you. Maybe you're someone whose life isn't going so well, and so meeting up with people and having to share your life feels really scary and difficult right now. It feels like you're inviting people in to judge you or criticize, and sometimes even pity, and that doesn't feel good. If that's the case, I'd like to remind you that we needn't share everything, and that we can choose to share with the right people who make us feel good, who provide empathy and understanding and hold space for us, rather than sharing with people who continually misunderstand. So when you have successfully shaken that off, let's come into all fours. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Then we're going to dip the belly to come into our cow pose, breathe in. And then arch the back for cat, breathe out. Dip the belly, breathe in. Arch the back, breathe out. A few more times. And then I want you to curl your left toes under and stretch out the left leg. Maybe this is enough. If not, you can lift it up. Then we're going to reach out the right arm. Again, you can keep it on the mat if that's better for you, or you can reach out. So our core should be engaged. We should feel a bit of engagement in our abdomen to keep our hips straight and our arms and legs level. So we don't want to be going too far down or too far up. It needs to be as straight as possible. Imagine a line, someone is pulling your hand and pulling your foot away from one another to create a bit of tension. This pose takes a lot of focus, and I want you to channel that focus in believing that this doesn't have to be a difficult time, that at any point you can come back to your power and focus on what really matters. Over the Christmas period, a lot of people stress themselves out over things that don't matter. But you are in control of deciding what matters for you and what feels good. And release. If you need to, you can shake out the wrists. And then we'll come to the second side. So this time, right toes under and stretched out. Again, you can leave it on the mat or lift up. And then the left hand either staying on the mat or lifts up. Try to keep the engagement in the core. The glutes are working. We're stretching out, reaching away from one another. Keeping our focus, try not to curve the back of the neck, which can cause some tension. A lot going on in this pose. And release. Again, you can shake it out if you need to. Maybe roll the wrist a little bit. And then we're going to come to lie on our bellies. We're going to place our forehead down on the ground. Place our arms either side of us. And then we're going to come to Shalabhasana. So we can lift the legs and potentially lift the arms and the chest, like we're flying. And in this pose, we're leaning all of our weight on our abdomen, our stomach, and this can be a place that causes a lot of vulnerability or a lot of emotion. So take some time to appreciate your stomach, appreciate your abs, your core, or everything that it does for you. Our core is the centre of our being. It should be the strongest part of ourselves, not because we want six packs, we want abs, but because it holds up everything. It's the centre of who we are, the centre of our mass, and it's what causes stability and strength in all other areas of our body. And release. We'll take a little counter by coming into child's pose, reaching the arms forward, maybe tent the fingers to really get a stretch into our lower back and our shoulders. And then we'll come to downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Shavasana. We're going to ripple forward into plank, down into chaturanga, and then up into cobra or upward facing dog, back into downward facing dog, And then hop, step or jump to the middle of your mat for our forward fold. So you can rest here for a moment, either one hand on each elbow, maybe the back of our legs, drawing ourselves in. I like to click my shoulders by doing that. Whatever feels comfortable for you. And while we're here, let's just think, why do we put so much pressure on ourselves around the holidays? Maybe we blame other people, but it could be that there's something that we're doing to ourselves, an expectation that we have on ourselves of how we need to show up at this time period. Maybe we're trying to impress somebody that we don't need to impress. Maybe we decided a long time ago that we were going to be a certain type of person at these gatherings. Maybe we've told ourselves that we have to eat a lot of things that are not good for us just because it's there and not because we actually want to. So take a moment to consider what might be feeling heavy for you right now. And then we're just going to come into Malasana, our yogic squat. I'm going to turn to face you. So we're going to tilt out the toes, bring the heels in, and whatever amount feels comfortable so that we could try to rest the heels on the ground, we'll come into our squat. Now ideally we want to press our elbows into our knees to prayer, bring our hands to prayer, in heart space. But if you're here or you're here or your heels are up, then whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable for your body. This is about us reclaiming our power and feeling comfortable in our bodies around this time of year. So please just find what feels good for you. And while you're in this very resonant pose, I want you to think about what is rooting you, what could root you in this holiday period to feel safe in your body, in your mind, in your environment. This pose activates the root and sacral chakra, and it's very emotional because you're activating your hips as well. So it's a perfect posture for us to be in whilst we think about what makes us feel safe. What could we think about? What could we channel? Who do we need or what do we need to feel like we can get through the holidays, which can be a lot. It can be a lot. It can be overstimulating in every single way. So if you are somebody who has a lot of celebrations ahead, a lot of food, a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, a lot of people to see, whatever it is, think about how you can find a soft place to land within yourself over this period. And then we'll just release, use our hands to come back, and we'll just come into cobbler's pose to finish. So we want our legs in a diamond shape. You can have your feet further away from you to be more comfortable, closer to you to get a deeper stretch. I like to go about halfway. And we're going to bend down, clasp our ankles with our hands and press our elbows into our knees to press down. Try not to arch the back, keep it as straight as possible for now. Maybe take a moment to close your eyes, or you can gaze at your feet. Maybe give your feet a little massage. And I just want you to thank your body for all the things it does for you every single day. I want you to tell your body that you love it, no matter what shape it is, no matter how it might be feeling right now. Maybe you made the mistake of eating a bit too much and you wanted to say to your body, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, I'll take care of you now. Maybe you've been too restrictive over the holidays and have really harsh, rigid goals and expectations of yourself that has made it not quite as fun. Maybe you could tell yourself and your body that it's okay to relax, that it's okay to eat for nourishment. We don't need to neglect ourselves. And then we'll just fold forward a little bit, release the back. You're allowed to arch it now. And release. Thank you for flowing with me during this holiday period, this little festive flow. I am sending you so much joy and light. I hope that it's a successful, kind, joyful experience for you over the holidays. And if it's not, I hope you know that you always have a safe space with me, that you can come back to this video as many times as you need to during the holiday season or any other time, to feel like you have a soft place to be yourself, to remind yourself, body, mind and spirit, that it's okay to be you. You love yourself regardless of what happens, and luckily the holidays don't last forever, and so you can get through it and hopefully on the other side feel safe, feel more space to be yourself as well. So thank you again for flowing with me. Happy holidays if you do celebrate, and if you don't, I still wish you a very happy, healthy December and end to the year. Thank you and namaste.